So all of you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now I'm just moving to Jupyter Lab. So what demonstration I will do today is basically see normally whenever you ask for any data from any other person, okay, so they will provide data in the form of JSON. Okay, so what do you mean by that? Say for example, there is some remote machine, okay, remote server or some cloud platform. So from there, they want to send some data to you. Okay, so assume that SLDC is there. Okay, so state load dispatch center is there. They are like a server, and you are in substation. So SLDC want to send some information to the substation. Okay, so substation has to receive that particular information. So normally this transaction, yesterday I told this transaction happens. Okay, so and the data flow will be in the form of JSON. Okay, so normally how they will send data, so they will send data through APIs. Okay, so they will send data through web services. So we'll come to that web services later. But there will be something called APIs. APIs, you need to call some APIs, and you have to get some data from that particular person. Okay, so internally everything is web service in the computer science domain. So SLDC has some web services. Okay, so substation will call that web service. Okay, or in other words, SLDC has export some APIs. So substation will use that particular APIs to take some data from the SLDC. Okay, so that is how it works. So now, how the data will come? The data will come in the form of JSON. Okay, now that is why it is very important to learn JSON. Say, for example, if the JSON data comes to you, so if it comes in a file format, or it may come in the string format. Okay, so you have to extract some information in that JSON file, and all those things you have to do. I already told you. Okay, the format of the JSON is similar to the dictionary variable. Okay, in fact, dictionary variable is also a JSON data. So now one example, what you can think, I'm just creating one file. Okay, say for example, so what is the purpose of the SLDC state load dispatch center? They will uh, they will instruct the substation how much they have to schedule power. Okay, say for example, SLDC from SLDC substation received one particular file. Okay, say power schedule. Okay, so this is the text JSON file what they have received. So now I am just giving. So JSON file is okay. Feeder one. Okay, so feeder one allocate real power something like 3 megawatt. Okay, then feeder two allocate power 2 megawatt. something like that. So it is some JSON file. Okay, it is some JSON file. Now this JSON file I should read. So JSON file is created, and even you can change the name of the extension of the JSON file is always JSON. Now, in fact, normally nowadays, the database is also created in this particular format, JSON format. Database itself is created, in JSON format that they are calling as a NoSQL databases. Okay, so that's why it is very important to learn this particular, JSON format or JSON data or JSON no SQL databases. Now this file is ready. So last class we learnt about the file handling. So file handling is basically we have to create an object. Okay, we have to create an object using this particular open command. So if is a object, open is a command, and so you have to give the file name, JSON file name or any file name. So which you are trying to open and you are trying to understand. So this is the file name, powerschedule.json. Okay, so in what way I'm using? I'm just using this file as read mode. Okay, so file came to me. Now what you can do, you can now you want to take that particular JSON file to your Python Python program. Say for example, I'm calling that as a data. Data is equal to f dot load. Load is the command to take the JSON file. Okay, so from where you are taking? From the f, from file f. Okay, so yeah, load. I think sorry, this is JSON load f. Okay, I may have to import JSON. I just have to check. This is the code to take the data from JSON file. Okay.
JSON.
Yeah. Any doubt?
JSON.
Come again. Somebody is.
JSON spelling in the
Yes,
starting
spelling.
point.
Yeah. I corrected. Huh? So I'm just printing that particular data. I'm just printing that particular data. Can you see? In my screen? So I'm not fetching that particular file as a normal file. I'm just taking that particular file as a JSON file. So that is the one different thing here. Okay. So for example, whenever you say take some raw data from some other person, they may give some JSON data. Or whenever you take some data from the database, NoSQL database, that will come in a JSON format. So this is the way in which you can, take that particular data to your Python program. So now using this particular code, you are taking that particular information, okay, and you're displaying. So data is basically now JSON format. So that is what you have to understand. I'm just printing. Assume that this is the, this is what I did. I just read the values from the file. So if you want to write some data to, to some other person, okay. So in that case, what you can do, so you just close, this file is, you opened and that data is extracted. So if you are not using that particular file, close that particular file. That is the best practice. Now, I want to write a data. Say, for example, I could not schedule exactly 3 megawatt and 2 megawatt in my substation. So because of my constraint, I could be able to achieve, the power schedule with some deviation. So I just want to inform that to the substation. So I want to send some JSON file to the substation with the modified one. Say, say my data, okay, is basically, I'm creating a different, uh, data. Say, so F1 I could able to, achieve 2.5, and F2 I could able to achieve 2.5. So this is the new, schedule I made in the substation. Okay, so you can just print that particular thing. Okay. Now the same JSON file is coming, or I don't know whether I have to use single quote. Now I want to send this information to the other person. Okay, so what I can do, again you have to use this particular uh, open file. So you can create different object. Now I am just giving power reschedule dot JSON different file. So, but here in this particular case, it is write. Okay, write mode. Okay, so then what I have to do? So I want to write the data. So for that, in JSON library, you have a function called dump. So dump is the command to write some content to the that particular file. Okay. So now data I want to write, the file instance is basically F. I don't know whether I have to interchange. I am just running. Let us see. Okay, so you can see power reschedule, JSON file is created. Okay, but it is empty. So I'm just creating a JSON file now. Power reschedule.json. I'm just writing. So data 2.5, 2.5. Okay, so this is correct. Correct dot data. It is the syntax. No. Okay, so there is some problem in creating this particular data. I'll just get back to you, but I'll use the same data which is extracted from the, the JSON file. Let me check whether this is going. Yeah, so there is some problem. Okay, I may have to restart the kernel. Okay, file is correct. Data is opened. Earlier data closed. Power reschedule. Okay, so now data is actually the data obtained, which is actually printing. Yeah, correct only. So JSON dot reading. Uh, so I don't know whether I have to convert that to. So they are writing dictionary variable here. Okay. They are creating dictionary. Dictionary and okay. Then they are writing that particular dictionary file, but yeah, let me check the. Yeah, it is a dictionary variable. The dictionary variable should go now. I don't know whether no, dump is the command. I'm closing. Okay, I may have to close this file also after writing. Yeah. So after writing, I did not close that particular file. That was the problem. Okay. Now it is fine. This program is fine. Uh, Even I think I can rescheduling also I can do now. So I can create, here anyway, dictionary, dictionary is available. You can create dictionary. Okay. So that is also possible. Say 2.5 comma. Then other feeder is also I'm just allocating as 2.5. So this is F2. This is F1. So in this way also you can create and you can run. Now you can see when you open this particular file, the rescheduled one you are writing to that particular file. Okay. So now what we did in a simple sense, we have taken a data from the dispatch center, and we modified that particular data and we sent back to them. Okay, so now you can see the entire thing is only JSONs. Okay, so entire modifications happened in the JSON file, but using this particular file, what we extracted that particular data to our Python program, and from our Python program we have given data to that particular file. So in this way you can think of NoSQL databases. Okay, how you can NoSQL data, how you can handle in Python. So that is what in this particular example. Any clarification required? Yeah. So I think the file you opened, and also say for example you modified something. So unless you close this particular file, it won't commit the data to that particular file. So once after closing this particular file, it commits that data to that particular file. So that's why we have to close. Otherwise, the temporary file is created. It's with that particular data, and if you're not closing, that will remain there itself. It won't commit or it will not write to the actual file. You can see when you open Word file, So beside that, one temporary file will be created. So it will save some, temporary data. So it will be used whenever a crash happens. Okay, so that kind of thing. So that's why we have to close. Okay. So this is one JSON file reading and writing example. Now only one function we have to understand, which we are going to use in future. So that is Lambda function. Lambda function in one extra thing in the Python. You normally won't here in C++ or Java program. So, but it is there in MATLAB. So Lambda function is basically the inline function. Okay, so our anonymous function. So for example, when you have to use Lambda function, see, you want to create a function, but you don't want to create a function file. Okay, so you are writing some program. Okay, along with that particular program, you just want to write a function. So then you have to use a Lambda function. Okay, so Lambda function, the format of that particular Lambda function is basically the function is equal to, okay, Lambda followed by the variable name, say variable X, then colon, then the function definition. Function definition is, say, I'm just giving X square. So what does it mean? So it means f is equal to x square. So if you want to create a function f is equal to x square, then you have to use this particular, say y is equal to x square or f is equal to x square, then you have to use this particular way. Okay, so basically that x into x is the function. Okay, and lambda x tells that you have one variable called x. So this is how you can create a inline equation. Okay, so now say for example you created a function, so you can solve that particular function by substituting some values. Say if I substitute 2, then you're passing x. So x square would be 2 square, 4. So you should get an answer 4. You can print that particular output. You can see it is printing output as 4. Now it is not only this much, so you can create any complex mathematical function using this particular lambda function. Say for example, assume that EMF equation. Say EMF equation. What are the parameter you take? Say a DC generator EMF equation. So you are taking phi. Okay, you are taking Z. You are taking the speed. Okay, and you are taking the poles and you are taking the parallel paths. So these are the parameter what you are taking. Then what you do? You just write a lambda function phi. Okay, Z n. Okay, p divided by 60 into a. So this is the EMF equation. So now I just created that particular function. Okay, so even it can be a vector also. Okay, so I just created some scalar function, but you can create a vector function. Vector function also you can create using this particular lambda function or inline function. Now you can see I just have to I just want to pass the some parameter 1 Weber. Okay, number of conductor 10. Okay, speed is 1500. So number of poles are 4 and number of parallel passes 4, something like this. So when you run this particular program, now you can see the EMF is 250. So in this way, you can create the inline equations. So you no need to create separate file. Okay, the one advantage is the faster compared to the regular function. Okay, so it is very efficient. So you can use this inline function and also make sure that your function, the function should be very short. If the function is very short, then only you go for this inline function, or you use a regular function. So this is about the Lambda function. So today what we learned about the JSON file handling, and also we learned about the Lambda function. Any clarification you required on this particular two concepts? So anybody can ask a question. So I'll answer your question. See, you have to be interactive. Okay, so you have to ask.
In JSON file handling,
Yes.
you change the data from 3 and 2 to 2.5 and 2.5.
Yes.
Can you print that, sir, after changing?
Yes. Yes. We can.
How do you print it?
Yeah. If you want to print, just use print command only. Like how you used. Now can you see here? So same print command you have to use.
Yes, sir.
Or you can change the variable name also. You can change variable name if you have any confusion. So you can create a new variable name, same thing. Will that be fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So for your information, okay, still I started, uh, you know, you can go to my GitHub account. Okay, so in this particular GitHub account, all the programs, whatever I'm doing, okay, I'll just commit here. So immediately I'll commit this particular notebook, and that notebook will be available here. So if you want to refer the any content, so all those things will be available in the GitHub account, which is open. Okay, you can use whatever we have done in the previous classes. Complete programming will be backed up here in this particular GitHub. So that is for your information. Okay, so I think we are done with the first unit. Okay, so data types, okay, statement, functions, file handling, classes and objects. Okay, but anyway, this is very basic thing, fundamentals in Python. But before we start this second unit, make sure that you learned all these things. So even I suggested to go for W3 school, Python tutorial. Hardly it will take 2 hours. Learn thoroughly, and also whatever we have done in the class, okay, learn properly. It will definitely help you. So data types, we understood some data types: integer data type, float data type, dictionary data type, okay, list data type, string data type, okay, different type of data types we understood. Statements also we understood, some for loop, print statement, okay. So we are not now extensively learned all the statement, but that is an exercise for you. Functions, yes, we know how to create a function. We know how to create a function in the same file and also in the separate file, okay, and how to call that particular function or how to use that particular function in our program, that also we understood. And also just now we understood the inline function also. And in file handling, okay, how to text file, extraction and edition, okay, editing, that also we understood. Classes and object, how to create a classes in some other file, and how to import that particular classes as a library into our program, that also we understood. And how to create an object, and all those things we understood from our previous session. So any clarification till now? Any clarification on all these topics? Or any extra thing you want, or so what you want from my end to do on for the first unit? So give your feedback. Okay. So whether first unit we covered. So I just want to know whether you understood this first unit, any value